going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. If you don't know who I am, that means you're new. I'm Mark. What's good with y'all? Go check out my other videos. Check them out. But first, stay on this one. So, I had a feeling tonight was going to be the night of debunking gun myths. You know what I mean? I knew I was going to do more than one tonight. So, let's get right into it. This one is kind of funny to me. The reason why it actually cracks me up a little bit is because this was said to me by somebody who was arguing that I simply know nothing about 1911s. I just simply know nothing. It shows, the videos I've done on 1911s, me talking about my opinions on them, just show I know nothing. I don't know how that's the case, considering I've, definitely at least reviewed one 1911 at this point, had experience with several others. Whatever. Not my point. Neither here nor there, as I always say. You guys know that. All right, so no more beating around the bush. Let's get right into this. I'm excited. On this episode of Debunking Gun Myths, all 1911s are mil-spec. So, for those of y'all who don't know what mil-spec means, if I'm not mistaken, it means military specifications. So what this person was essentially trying to argue to me was that all 1911s can essentially be interchangeable in the way the AR-15 is. And that is the easiest way for me to describe it to you guys, the best, the best comparison one could say. Because a majority, if not all, not 1911, a majority, if not all AR-15s are mil-spec. And if yours is out of spec, that's something you usually want to get fixed. And regardless, once again, I'm about to go off on a whole nother tangent here. 1911s are not all mil-spec, and that seems common sense to me, considering we have 2011s as well. While some people might argue, hey, a 2011 is different from a 1911. I hear you there. I would even make that argument as well, especially if I'm trying to, go against what I'm saying right now. However, what I can say is they also do make double stack 9mm 1911s. The differences between 2011s and 1911s are very, very minute to a lot of people. They won't realize it until you actually look it up. But to a majority of people, you're going to look at a double stack 1911 and think it's a 2011, which is not correct. However, I'm not going to sit here and get into that argument. But besides 2011s, they do have double stack 1911s. They have 1911s that are chambered in entirely different calibers. All in all, they're not mil-spec because they're not all designed the same. We even have micro 1911s at this point. There are companies, for example, like Kimber, who literally have made concealed carry 1911s that are incredibly small. Like, geez, if I had one of them, I would show you guys. But incredibly small from what I've seen, holding 10, 12 rounds of 9mm. So in the end, no, not all 1911s are mil-spec. Is that even possible? No. What I will say is a lot, if not all of the GI models are. However, once again, when you make such a blanket statement, such as all 1911s are mil-spec, you are lying entirely. There's no truth to your claim, and that's something you're going to have to get checked on because it seems common sense to me. For example, you can't sit here and say that, oh, well, this bolt right here is specified exactly to the same as all the other bolts ever made in existence. You see what I mean? That doesn't make sense. There's no logical argument to say that all 1911s are mil-spec, considering, once again, there are double stack 9mm 1911s. There are micro 1911s. There are even single stack 9mm 1911s. There are 1911s of different barrel lengths. You get, with the 1911, it has become such a popular platform because it has been around since 1911 that you don't think people have made any changes to it. You don't think people have tried to, improve on the platform. You really don't think that? I'm sorry, but that's ludicrous. That's nonsense. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever, in at least in an objective reality. It doesn't make any sense. So no, Once again, while not all 1911s, not all 1911s are mil-spec, because that's just not the case. But while they are not all mil-spec, there are some that are, which, hey, that's cool. You know what I mean? That's not the biggest deal. I don't get where, and it cracks me up too, because one of the things that it made me think of is that a lot of people who, talk about this, especially this guy who made this claim to me, which was a really dumb claim once again, but that's my opinion. It's a nonsensical claim is a much better way to say it, because I'm trying to be a nicer person, But with such a nonsensical claim, in all reality, the truth basically paints it as, okay, well, it's no better in, I guess, compatibility, or, some would, I don't know how you would phrase this exactly, but there's no real special edge in compatibility with the 1911 over something like a Glock. For example, I can go ahead and take my Glock 23 and get a Glock 19. I can swap the slides and barrel. I can swap a lot of parts between them, and essentially I can either put my, I can shoot 9mm out of my 23 frame if I want to. I can shoot 40 Smith & Wesson out of my 9mm frame if I want to, because there's no real difference there. So there are certain levels of compatibility that essentially that's all these people are trying to argue and make such a big deal for the 1911. And I mean, once again, some people might be trying to say that that's an overreaching comparison, like how I mentioned, earlier with the AR-15, that's essentially how this guy is claiming it. However, I still stand by all my points here. I mean, plain and simple, obviously, some 1911s are mil-spec, therefore you can interchange parts, you can do whatever. However, definitely not all of them. Saying all of them is a complete and utter lie. You don't want to lie. What's the purpose of making such a bold-faced lie when something as simple as Google exists? When something as simple as YouTube exists? When something that will entirely disprove such a bold and false statement exists, I don't see why you would make said statement. That's my, I guess my point of view on this. That's my thoughts on it. However, what I can say is that it made it to Debunking Gun Myths. It made it to a video, so hey, why not, right? But all in all, no, not all 1911s are mil-spec. I hate to break it to you guys, but in all reality, I would argue that more Glocks are compatible with each other than 1911s are compatible with each other. But once again, I would make that argument. However, I'm not going to bet the farm on it. I'm not going to. With that being said, I think that about wraps it up for this video. Some of y'all might be wondering why I wouldn't bet the farm on it. I'm not a 1911 guy. I'm very open about that. I'm not a 1911 guy. Do I hate them? No. But I'm not a 1911 guy. I don't know everything about 1911s, nor do I claim to. Now, with that being said, y'all make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that bell. When you hit that bell, hit all, and whether or not you agree with me, I don't know how you can actually disagree with me. Recently, I've had videos where it's like, I don't know how you can possibly disagree with me, because, I mean, if you want to take your standard GI 45 ACP 1911, field strip it and try swapping it with, say, a double stack 9mm 1911's parts, you're probably not going to get too much of a compatibility there. So I don't know how you can disagree with me. So all in all, whether or not you liked the video or not, I guess is a better way to say it in this case, because whether or not you disagree with me, if you disagree with me, you're disagreeing with the truth. Who's going to disagree with the truth? Whether or not you agree with me, though, or whether or not you like the video, make sure to check out all my other videos. Y'all make sure to stay legal, stay safe, stay dangerous. Have a good one, y'all. Peace.